When I think of Thanksgiving, what comes to mind is not thankfulness or a big turkey. What I think of is far more important and serious. Every year at the end of November, families all across the United States celebrate the Thanksgiving holiday. This occasion has evolved into a time of expressing gratitude and sharing a bountiful meal with family. Relatives have awkward conversations while a huge turkey is scarfed down around a table. When I was in grade school, my history books depicted the first Thanksgiving meal as a peaceful gathering between white European settlers and Native American people. But there is a lesser-known truth behind this narrative. This Thanksgiving origin story that I was taught in school was a revisionist and whitewashed version of what actually happened. Following the arrival of Christopher Columbus on the shores of America in 1492, a steady stream of white European families traveled across the Atlantic Ocean to settle in this new territory. At first, they were ill-equipped to handle the harsh realities of its wilderness and climate. But indigenous tribes fed them and taught them how to grow corn and other crops to live on the land. Then, everything took a turn for the worse. This is where the revisionist whitewashing in this story happens, because it was not a peaceful coexistence between Native American tribes and white colonial settlers. Empowered by their religious beliefs and a racist disdain for the indigenous tribes, white European settlers murdered and stole from the indigenous communities who had been thriving on this land for thousands of years and multiple generations. These colonial settlers destroyed indigenous cultures by eradicating them, and even sold captive tribal members off to slavery. This brutal and racist genocide continued throughout the expansion of the United States westward to the Pacific Ocean. Five-term governor of Plymouth Colony, William Bradford, described Native Americans as savage people who are cruel, barbarous, and most treacherous. At every level, the settlers were intent on vilifying and disempowering indigenous people. Thanksgiving has been whitewashed as a symbol of kind gratitude expressed by the white European settlers toward native tribes. This revisionist history only serves to silence the stories and voices of the millions of indigenous people who were slaughtered under a heartless and cruel colonialist agenda. Since 1970, the United American Indians of New England have carried out a national day of mourning during the U.S. Thanksgiving holiday. This is what they have to say about it. Thanksgiving Day is a reminder of the genocide of millions of Native people, the theft of Native lands, and the relentless assaults on Native culture. Participants in National Day of Mourning honor Native ancestors and the struggles of Native peoples to survive today. It is a day of remembrance and spiritual connection, as well as a protest of the racism and oppression which Native Americans continue to experience. As you enjoy your turkey over Thanksgiving, you have the power to acknowledge the impossibly sad and deeper truth behind the occasion. Talk about it and share this truth. Or perhaps do not even celebrate the holiday at all. People often say that ignorance is bliss. I would take this a step further and say that ignorance is a complete lack of compassion. We need more compassion in the world. Compassion toward the indigenous survivors who continue to face this oppression. Within our hearts and minds, we need compassion that honors the lives and dignity of the millions of murdered indigenous people of America.
Hold on, I'm going to add something to that. Let's go to Isaiah 26:10. Right? Isaiah 26, verse 10. Let favor be showed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and not behold the majesty of the Lord. So they project the wickedness that is in them off on the indigenous population of people that were already here. The reason why they did that bullshit is so this way they could feel justified in the genocide of the indigenous population of people that were already here. Okay? Projecting them as being savages and untrustworthy and murderous and barbarous. What the fuck? Let's go over here to John. Right? Let's go over here to John chapter 10, verse 10. Right? So I'm trying to stop this thing. John verse 10, verse 10. Chapter 10, verse 10. The thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. Right? I am come that they, being the Israelites, might have life, and that they, the Israelites, might have it more abundantly. But unfortunately, these devils are in control of the entire world and ruin everything that they touch. Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 33. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. Who is they? The so-called white man, the devil the Bible speaks of. Right? Their Redeemer is strong. Who is the Redeemer? Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, whom the world ignorantly calls Jeebus Cross. The Lord of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. The land doesn't get any rest. The land Sabbath, as it is in the book of Leviticus and the book of Numbers, the land is supposed to rest for a period, I think, of 7 years. Okay, so this way the plant would continue to become fertile. It would give there'd be plenty of food, water, and different things of that nature. That's the reason why these Edomite devils that are in charge of every goddamn thing realize that there's not enough food and water on the planet to sustain 8 billion people. Now, they still have this program going on through the Georgia Guidestones that they need 500 million people to perpetuate peace and prosperity on the earth. Well, how are you going to do that when you have 8 billion and upwards of 8 billion people on the face of the planet? How does that work? Right? Through genocide. This is what these people do, man. That's what they've always done. That's their modus of their mode of operations, their modus operandum, their MO. That's all they do is murder, kill, steal, destroy. They don't uphold the majesty of the Lord, which keeps his commandments and precepts and gives the Most High God, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, his majesty. They don't do that. These goddamn devils ain't finna do that. Come on, man. Okay, so, like I said before, I just wanted to, see what was going on. Let people know what's going on with this thing, man. Because these goddamn devils, boy, they ain't worth a shit. They ain't worth a plug nickel. You hear me? Shalom.